So hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a live from Physio-logical community Facebook group. So I'm Natalie March from Physio-logical and we've had quite a few questions come in to us to answer in this live Q&A today. If anyone is watching live, then feel free to give us a thumbs up so I know you're there, and if anyone's got any specific questions then please write in the comments below. So just a summary of some of the questions that we've had come in, so what we'll be answering today, things like carpal tunnel, what can I do? I've had chronic pain for over 2 years, what can I do to help that? We've also had a question about Achilles tendinopathy, so if you've got pain around the heel, what can you do to help yourself with that? As well as some tips for home workers, so those that are working from home that might be getting neck and back pain. We've got lots of resources on our website as well for that. So yeah, hi everyone, hi Lee, thanks for watching. So what I'll do is I'll crack on with the questions that I've been asked already, and then, as I say, if anyone's got any questions they want to ask, then put it in the comments box. I'll do my best to answer them within this live. Well, I'm only live for 30 minutes. If I can't answer them within this live, then what we'll be doing is following up with a blog on our Physio-logical, so physio-logical.net website, where we'll be answering some of those questions later too. Okay, so let's crack on. So my first thing I'd like to say is just thank you so much for your support at this hard time. Everyone's been really good in engaging with keeping going with their physio appointments online, and they're going really well at the moment too. So straight on with the first question. So I had a question the other day from this Physio-logical community group, was both my knees make a bubble popping sound, is that normal? So the answer to that is yes. A lot of people's knees crack and pop, and it is normal. So even my husband's knees crack and click and pop away when he squats down. So what is actually happening when your knees pop and crack? So what you get is you get a build-up of carbon dioxide within the joint. So within the joint, so if we're talking about your knee, this was a specific question, you've got a joint capsule, so it's a capsule which surrounds the joint, and in that is synovial fluid. And what happens, you get a build-up in the carbon dioxide within that joint, and then that's released as a gas bubble, and as that gas bubble bursts, then you get the clicking or cracking that you feel in the joint. So it's the same process, you know, if you were to click your knuckles, I can't do it, but if you were to do that, that's that same process there. So when should you be concerned about that? So the only reason when you should be concerned about that and seek medical opinion or advice is if you're getting pain with that clicking too. So if you're getting pain around the front of the kneecap with that clicking too, then it's always good to see a physio or seek medical advice. But otherwise, if you've just got lots of clicking crepitus within the joint, don't be worried about it. It's just this release of that carbon dioxide within the joint. Hi Alan and Jenny and Kate. So next question. So the other question I've had in the Physio-logical community group is, I've had pain for more than 2 years in my foot and behind my knee. And the question asked was, what should I do? So can I carry on running? Can I keep active? Or should I stop? Should I not do the activities? Is it okay to do things that might aggravate my pain? Or should I stop everything? So my bit of advice there would be, first, obviously, you need to be assessed by a physio or a healthcare professional to work out what the diagnosis is before we can give you like specific advice. But if you have been assessed and it's found to be just an ongoing niggly injury, whether that be a ligament or a muscle, and it's just not getting better, it's been going on for a couple of years, then what my advice would be is it's okay to push into some discomfort. So when I talk some discomfort, if we talk a scale of 0 to 10, so 0 being no pain and 10 being the worst pain ever, then it's okay to push into sort of 4 or 5 discomfort, as long as then the next day those symptoms have settled. So say we're talking about running here, and you're getting a bit of pain around your foot when running. it's okay to feel a little bit discomfort, but the next day when you wake up, you should feel no pain. Okay, so if you're still feeling pain the next day, then the likelihood is you've done too much the day before. So that's when you need to back off. So, oh, hi Jenny and Helen, nice to see you watching. So if we're, as I say, talking about running, so day one, so say you ran 3 miles and it was painful the next day. So then the next day you'd have a rest day. And then if it needs to settle for a few days, that's fine. The next time you then run, I would start at 2 miles, yeah? And if there's no pain the next day, then it's fine to stick running for those 2 miles. And then the next week you would increase by 10%, so it'd be then 2.2 miles the next week. Going back to the question, so yeah, have had pain in my foot and knee for 2 years. Should I stop everything? Well, no. You shouldn't stop everything, because all the research shows is our tendons especially like to be loaded, so they like to be used. So if you do nothing, they'll be underloaded. If you do too much, they'll be overloaded. Yeah, so it's sort of finding that middle ground, which is sometimes hard to find. So it's a bit of trial and error, like try a little bit, see what it's like the next day, as I mentioned just a minute ago. So no, you shouldn't stop everything. You should keep going, because otherwise if you stop everything, completely rest, when you get back to the activity, whether that be running, cycling, walking, the chances are then you'll overload the tendons and then you'll get injured. So it's just trying to tailor that. So say you're used to running 5 miles or cycling 5 miles, then it's much better to just reduce that down to a couple of miles. So doing what's pain-free. And then it's also really important, especially runners, cyclists, people that are walking, is also to do some strengthening exercises alongside as well to keep you strong. So all the research shows is in order to reduce the risk of injury, you should be doing, if you are a runner or a cyclist, 3 strength sessions per week. And this can significantly reduce the risk of injury by 50%. So that's really important. So Jordan, our sports therapist, did a video a couple of weeks ago demonstrating some really good strengthening exercises for runners, and that's on our Physio-logical social media pages, but also on our website too. So if you search physio-logical.net, and if you search at the top strengthening exercises for runners, there's a blog about runners on our website too. Hi Tina and Claire, nice to see you watching. So as I say, if anyone that's watching live has got any questions, please do ask away in the comments. I'll do my best to answer your questions now as we are live, and if I can't answer them straight away, then what we'll do is we'll answer them within a blog via our website later on. Oh, hi Claire. Okay, so another question that we got asked when we posted out on social media was, I've had Achilles tendon pain for a long time, what can I do? So firstly, tendons take a good 3 months to get better. It's just the natural regeneration of a tendon. So if you've got a tendon problem, whether that be tennis elbow, Achilles tendon, so around the heel, or a hip tendon, glute tendinopathy, it can take 3 months. So the key with tendons is they respond really well to loaded exercises, so by adding load and weight. So as the tendon naturally regenerates, it can cope with the demand of the activity that you want to do. I can show you some exercises that you can do. So if you've got an ongoing niggling Achilles tendon, then I'll show you the exercises now to do. The key with this is to determine where the pain is. So if you imagine your Achilles tendon, so if we're looking at the back of the foot there, so if you've got pain right at the bottom where it inserts into the heel, that's called an insertional Achilles tendinopathy. If you've got pain in the middle of the tendon, so that's a mid-tendinopathy. So depending on where the pain is, depends on which exercise you do, okay? So if it is right where the heel, so it inserts into the heel, that's an insertional tendinopathy. So when you're doing the loaded exercises, we do them on the flat, so we don't drop down off of the edge of the step. The reason for that is if you drop down right off the edge of the step, then it compresses the tendon against where it attaches to the bone, and that can cause more pain. So it's really important when I show you these exercises, you just do them on the flat. Yeah. And based on these exercises, it's quite a long rehab program. So you're doing these loaded strengthening exercises for 3 lots of 15, a couple of times a day for 3 months. Okay, so it is a long time. There's 2 options with the loading program. So I'll show you the first one, which is the eccentric loading. So hopefully, if I move my chair out of the way, just stand you down a little bit. We've got a step there. So what you would do is so to start with, we'd just do body weight, and then you can gradually add weight to it. So I don't know, can you see me if I move over here? Can you see me on the step there? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see me. Can you see my feet on the step? Okay. So what this exercise is, so you be up on your toes, and then you would drop down on one side. So push up with both legs and then drop down on the bad side. So this exercise I'm demonstrating now, can you see my feet okay, is for a mid tendon. So when I talk about the tendon, so it's the mid part here, yeah? So the middle of the tendon where you're getting pain. So you push up, keep your knees straight, and then just drop down on the bad side. So pushing up, drop down on the bad side. So count 1, 2, 3 up, hold for 1, and 3 down. So that's the first exercise if you're getting pain around the middle of the Achilles. So if you're getting, the other exercise to do for that one as well is a same again, but with a bent knee. So this time you bend your knee, you push up with both sides, and then you drop down off the step. So push up and then drop down. So that one, I don't know if you can see that properly. So that one I'm dropping down with a bent knee, and then the other one was dropping down with a straight knee. And this is for pain around the middle of the tendon. Yeah. If you're getting pain at the bottom, right where the tendon attaches onto the bone, then you just don't do it onto the step. So you do it on the flat. So you just do the same. So pushing up and then drop down. So again, straight leg, and then you would also do it with a bent knee as well. Yeah. So it's just key to, it depends on where the pain is. Yeah. So that was for a mid and an insertional Achilles tendinopathy. So it depends where the pain is with that. There is another program as well, which the research has just come out with. It's called a heavy slow resistance training program. So obviously with gyms closed and stuff at the moment, it's going to be a bit more difficult for people to do this. But what the research has found, that compliance with these exercises are a lot better, because basically, as a physio, we're expecting people to do for the eccentric loading program, which is the one I've just showed you, we're expecting them to do, it's a long time, 308 minutes of exercise per week, which is a long time. So what the research has found is obviously people's compliance with that isn't great. So there's another program, this heavy slow resistance. So the research article Bayer et al. And I'll show you the pictures now of the exercise. So I don't know, can you see there? So we've got 3 exercises with this, yeah? And heavy slow resistance, so basically it's based on doing high load, so heavy weight exercises, but doing them 3 times a week, yeah? So there's 3 exercises. The heel raise, let's see there, if you can see that there. So this, as I say, it'd be at a gym, so a bit difficult at the moment, but if you've got weights at home, you can give this a go. So use a bar, and you can see there, so they're on a plate. So there's a heel raise on a plate there. So that's one exercise, is heel raise with the bar standing on the weight. The other one is a heel raise straight knee with the leg press machine, which is this one at the bottom here. Keeping your legs straight. And then the other one is knee bent with the leg press machine. So you work in the 2 different muscles. That's the soleus muscle, which is the calf muscle deep, and this is the gastroc muscle, so the calf muscle closer to the surface. So with a tendinopathy, especially Achilles, what we're trying to do is work the muscles to get the muscles stronger and load up the tendon so as it regenerates and cope with the demands of the activity you want to do. So these heavy slow resistance programs, so they're more based on specific protocols, so 15 repetitions max, weeks 1 to 4, yeah, and then progressing on to 6 rep max by week 9 to 12. So what rep max is the maximum you can do so if it's a 1 rep max, that's the maximum you can do to fatigue in one lift, yeah. So 15 rep max is the maximum weights you can lift 15 times, yeah. But then you need to repeat that 3 lots of 15. So what I'll do after this, I'll reshare our Achilles tendinopathy blog via our website, which has got all this listed down with the set protocols. So that's an Achilles tendinopathy, or Achilles tendinitis, some people might know it as. So the other thing with an Achilles tendon, or any tendon problems actually, like rotator cuff tendons as well in the shoulder, is load management. So basically, you don't want to underload and you don't want to overload your tendon. So if you're a runner and you run 5 miles and you get pain and you're in agony for 3 days after, then you've overloaded the tendon. Okay. For instance, I'm getting a lot of people that are taking us up on our physio consultations. So then, because there's lots of free classes out there at the moment online, and PE with Joe, things like that, people are starting to overload their body. So maybe they're doing loads more press-ups, they're starting to get tendon problems, the rotator cuff tendon. So these are overload injuries, yeah. So you need to really, if you're starting to do some of these online classes, which are brilliant, there's loads available, you need to go slowly build up. Don't suddenly think you can do 30 press-ups from scratch, because the more you're likely to cause an injury, yeah. So that's really important. So with Achilles, going back to that, so it's just trying to find that optimum load that your tendon can cope with, basically. So it's just trial and error. So say, yeah, run for 5 miles, too painful. So then obviously next time, once that's settled, then you try a couple of miles. If that's okay, then you stick with that a week. And we're looking at the symptoms the next day and the day after, really. So because tendons, they can sometimes flare, not the next day and the day after. So if your symptoms are still really sore 2 days after you've done too much, you just need to reduce that load. Okay. Well, hi Andrea. As I say, anyone watching, if you've got any questions that you want to ask me, please do put it in the comments and I will answer that as we're live now. What I'm doing is, I've had quite a few questions come in, so I'm going through the questions that I got asked in our physiological community group this week and last week. So the next question we had within the group is about sciatica and hip pain and back pain. Okay, so I've got my model here of the spine. I'll just grab that there. So this is our spine. Okay, so this is looking from the front and then looking from the back. So back pain, sciatica. So there's loads of different causes, obviously, of back pain. So the majority, like 80%, 90% of back pain is just mechanical. So it can just be stiffness in the joints. So these are the joints, facet joints, just either side of the back. Tightness in the muscles. So there's lots of different causes of back pain. Could be pain around, like the sacroiliac joint, around the pelvis. And then you can get irritation around the nerves as well. So yeah, I had someone that sent a message in. Put that back there, that said they've had back pain and sciatica for a couple of years now, and it's not settling. What can they do? So as long as, from a physio point of view, we always ask people specific questions. We screen them for what we call red flags, so any serious pathology. So if we ask them questions like bladder bowel problems, like sudden loss of control, any bilateral two-sided pins and needles, numbness, things like that, and also saddle anaesthesia, pins and needles, numbness between the legs. So if anyone's got any of those, they are what we call our red flags. They're serious pathology, so you need to go A&E, see doctor, straight away, seek immediate advice. But if we screen and everything seems fine, there's no serious pathology, which, as I said, is 90% of the people are just general mechanical back pain. Then the key is with back pain to keep active, basically. So the stronger you are, the more supported the muscles are for the back, and then the less pain you have. Also with ongoing sort of sciatic and back pain, so sitting tends to aggravate it. So I know a lot of people are home working at the moment, in maybe working on their dining table or trying to look after the kids while working on their laps, which we shouldn't be, but we're all trying our best at this hard time. So the key is to move regularly, so move every 20 minutes, yeah? If you're getting pain when you move at 20 minutes, then you need to move sooner, so just don't sit for too long. So what I find with a lot of my patients is neural tension, so tension around the nerve can get aggravated by sitting, for long periods. So that would be a big thing I always assess with my patients, people's neural mobility, and then tailor an exercise program to improve that. These are the people that a lot of people that say to me, I've constantly got tight hamstrings, it's sore there, so sometimes that can be a neural mobility problem. We've had a question. So okay, Andrew, let me just have a look. So a question from one of the people that's live in the group at the moment. Started doing the gym before lockdown, now doing it online, but I have an old knee injury. Fell on my full weight on it 3 months ago, and it's flared up again. What can I do to protect and strengthen it? I really don't want to give up the workouts. So knee pain. So if you fell on it, the chances are it could just be what we call patellofemoral pain. So that can be just pain around the knee. So if you've had a fall on the knee, especially to the front of the knee, you can get some little irritation around the back of the kneecap, and that can cause pain. So knee pain is a lot of the time, it's just to do with muscle imbalance, so certain muscles being weak, certain muscles being tight. So if we can do some general exercises to strengthen the muscles, then that makes a big difference. So I'll show you some general strengthening exercises for knee pain now. So it's strengthening the quads muscles, but what's really important with ongoing knee pain is strengthening the glutes muscles, the buttock muscles too. So I'll show you now, Andrea. That's fine. Don't apologise. That's what I'm here for, to answer any questions live. So if I just come back here. So I don't know, can people see my knees now? Just angle me down a bit. So yeah, so just looking at our knees. So the main thing is we want to strengthen this muscle on the inside of the knee here, but also our buttock muscles here. So good one first to do is we call a mini squat. So squeezing your bottom muscle, just doing a little mini squat down and then coming back up. When you do this, what we want to do is make sure your knees are in line with your second toe. So you don't want your knees dropping in. You want your knees level with your second toe, so just coming down and up. To start with, Andrew, what you do is do this short of pain. So you don't need to go far. So the VMO, this muscle, the quads muscle that we want to work, switches on and stabilises the kneecap in the groove the first 0 to 30 degrees of knee bend, okay? So you don't have to do a deep squat. And what I'd say, you just do this until you start to feel the muscles feel tired, so bottom muscles and in your quads here, yeah? So really important when you do your squats is really, as you come up, push through your heels and squeeze your bottom muscles as you come up, yeah? Because that's a really good way to work your glutes as well as your quads muscles. The other one is to work your glutes, is either a clown or a side leg raise. So let me just see if I get down onto the floor. Can you see me? So what I'd get you to do, Andrew, is to come, not really see my legs there, but lying on your side, squeeze your bottom muscle, and then what I'd say is you slide your heel up and down the wall, yeah? So by pushing your heel back and squeezing the bottom muscle, you'll work this muscle. Why is this muscle so important with knee pain? Well, if this glutes muscle isn't working very well, what tends to happen is then you can tighten up down through, I don't know if you've heard of your IT band, TFL and the muscle up here and then IT band, and that can affect pain around the knee. So that's another really, really good one for knee pain, is by getting this glute med, this bottom muscle strong here. And as I said with the squats, what you want to do is work that muscle until you feel tired. So yeah, just really work it every day until you feel tired, you can't lift your leg anymore. What's really important with that exercise as well is as you get tired, you don't let your leg come forwards. Yeah, you really need to keep it back and sliding up and down the wall. Yeah, so you can really feel it in the bottom muscle there. Okay, and also it's Andrea, wasn't it? Yeah, Andrea. We've got loads of resources on our Physio-logical YouTube page with different knee pain exercises, as well as on our Physio-logical Facebook page. Okay. All right. So hopefully everyone can still hear me. My husband just said it froze a little bit, so hopefully you're all still there and can hear me okay. So we've got a few more minutes. We've got, if anyone else is there that's got any questions they want to ask, please do ask. Hopefully that's helped, Andrea. And I mean, actually, the other thing just to say about, obviously, Andrea, with the knee pain, is from a physio point of view, what we would do is clear to make sure there's no structural problems. So we can do lots of tests to clear, like for cartilage and ligament problems and stuff like that. But if it's general just pain around the kneecap, the front of the knee, then they're the exercises to do. Okay, I've just got another question. So I'll just say to people, because there might be people watching that did send some messages in prior to this. We're probably not going to get through all of them today, so my priority is to answer the live ones, but I will do a blog from the questions that have been asked prior with the answer to the other questions. There was a lady that asked about carpal tunnel, and there's someone that asked about elbow pain due to press-ups and cycling, so I will answer those questions for you. So Claire's just sent a message in. So I do a lot of glute bridges and single leg, which felt big. Oh, okay. So yeah, Claire's just sharing how she does exercises to strengthen through the glutes to help with IT band pain. So did you want any more advice about that, Claire? Or was that just sharing with the group the other glutes exercises that you do? So yeah, they're all really good ones you've said about. So glutes bridges, so just bridging on the back, single leg deadlifts, yeah, which all help to strengthen through the glutes further, because what Claire was saying there is she gets sometimes IT band pain, so pain down the outside of the knee, outside of the upper thigh, yes, outside here. So that's really important. If you're getting any IT band pain, doing lots of glutes strengthening exercises is really important for that. Oh yeah, so yeah, Andrea did say, yeah, it's just pain around her kneecap, so they're the right things to do. Okay, how are we doing for time? Oh, any other advice? Okay, so it's only on the right side. Or just okay, right. So Claire did want a little bit more advice. She's getting pain down our IT band after squatting. So, sorry. Hang on a sec. Bear with me. I'm just about to drop the camera. So, when we talk about IT band pain, so Claire's also put a message into saying after she's done squats. So she's getting pain around the outside of her knee, so here. So when we talk about IT band or iliotibial band, what is that? So the iliotibial band, sorry, I feel like I'm going to drop my phone. The IT band is a band that runs from the outside of the hip all the way down to the outside of the knee, yeah? So Claire was saying that she's getting some pain here on the outside of the knee when squatting. So she's doing a lot of glutes exercises, bridging, single leg deadlifts. which help to strengthen, but she's still getting the pain. So the reason why, Claire, maybe you're still getting the pain is some of the exercises that you're doing are mainly focused on the glute max, which is the main power glute muscle. Some of the ones that you've mentioned maybe aren't focusing so much on the glute med, which is the muscles on the outside here, yeah? So exercises more for glute med are that side leg raise one that I showed a minute ago, yeah? But also, I don't know if you've got a, let's just grab a band. Chair out of the way. So if you get a TheraBand, loop band, and then just put that just above your knees there, yeah? I don't know, can you see that there? Right, I'll angle you down, try not to lose you. Okay, so if you come down in a squat position, use a TheraBand just above the knees to start with. Really think, squeeze your bottom muscles, yeah? I don't know if this is one you've tried before, Claire. So keep those glutes squeezed, and then you can do like a crab walk with the band, yeah? So this is a really, really good one to get your glute med, which is these muscles working, yeah? And that's the one, if we can get your glute med working better, then TFL, this muscle here, doesn't tighten up so much, and then that takes the load off of that IT band. So it's just getting the right glute working in the right way. So that's more your glute med. So that one. You can do, other ones you can do for glute med. You can do side planks with side leg raises. Okay, if I've got space to demonstrate on the floor here. But I'm just conscious that I said I was going to carry on till 12:30, but I can carry on for longer because I've still got a few more questions to answer as well. So if people want to hang around, they can. They don't have to if they don't want to. So they hurt a lot. Sorry, just some feedback from Claire about her IT band pain, so pain on the outside of the knee. She's going to do a few more of those ones because she found they hurt a lot. So it's just really important that we're getting the right glutes muscles to work. So with Claire, she was getting pain on the outside of her knee here. She was doing lots of exercises to work the glute max, which is the power muscle here, but not the stability glute muscle. So I've just taught her an exercise to do for that. And then another one, Claire, is your side, if you can see me there. So you know if you go into a side plank and then doing side leg raises, because I know you do quite high level exercise anyway. So side plank with a side leg raise. So that's a really good one to try as well, Claire. Okay, so that will give you a couple to try. Oh, hi, I've got a few more people watching now. David, Emily, another David, hiya. So say if you've got any questions about specific injuries or aches and pains, please do put in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them today. If I don't get around to answering all the questions, then I will follow it up with a blog on our physio-logical.net website. That's fine, Claire, glad I can help. So, I will carry on. So a few other questions that we had asked prior to this Facebook Live today. I'll just answer some of those for the people that might be watching. So chronic pain, this come up a lot in our Physio-logical community Facebook page. So what is chronic pain? So if you've had pain for more than 3 months and it's not getting better, this can be classed as chronic pain. So on our website and on our social media pages, we've had Kathy Price, a pain consultant, write a blog for us about chronic pain. So just to summarise a little bit, is basically, so say you've sprained your ankle but the pain's ongoing, then it can become more chronic. So it gets really complicated with the pain science, but basically it's just the pain can become more centralised and more painful due to the nerves basically. So say you sprained your ankle, the tissue has recovered but you've still got pain. It can be just the nerve and the pain signals coming from the brain down to that area, still interpreted as a painful area despite the problem being healed. Yeah? And it's just unfortunately the way some of our bodies respond to pain. So some people, if they sprain their ankle, you know, the natural healing time's, you know, 6, 6 weeks to 12 weeks, you know, maybe a little bit longer to get it fully strong, they get better, but other people don't. And that's just the way our bodies respond. So some people are just that their pain within their body, it still interprets that as a painful area despite it being the muscle or the ligament being healed. So if you have a look at our physio-logical.net website, and then we've got a new search box at the top of our website. So if you search in there for chronic pain, we've got an article from a pain consultant, so specialist that deals with people with chronic pain. There's some really good information there. But also we have shared in our Physiological community Facebook group, so this group that I'm talking in now, a video about chronic pain too. So if anyone wants to check that out, they can. Hi Jean, nice to see you joining us. So if anyone that's in the group live now wants me to answer any specific questions about any injuries, aches or pains, then please do ask in the comments below. So I know I am running over, but I've got a couple more messages that come in from people via our social media channels that I said I'd answer today. So I will carry on. So the question that I had from someone was, I'll just move to the side here. So they've got elbow pain. They've got elbow pain secondary to overloaded and doing too many press-ups in a challenge that they took part in January, and it was also getting painful when they were cycling too. My answer to that is there's a few different causes of pain around the elbow. So if it's more pain on the outside of the elbow, it's known as tennis elbow, or the actual term is lateral epicondylitis, or inside golfer's elbow here, so a problem with the tendon where it attaches to the bone there. So depending on, I can't remember the guy, I think it was Ben who asked this question, depending on where the pain is, depends on obviously what exercises you do. So the tendon, we've talked a lot about tendons in this live here. We've talked about rotator cuff tendons, Achilles tendons, we've talked about overloading, sort of ankle ligament problems and tendons around there. So if you suddenly increase in activity, so as I said, we're getting a lot of people that, you know, all these online classes are brilliant, but where, you know, unfortunately we've not got loads else to be doing at the moment. Lots of people are doing sudden increase in exercise, which are then overloading tendons, so then people are starting to cause and get injured and get pain. So, for instance, PE with Joe Wicks, I've had someone this morning on a video consultation doing lots of press-ups there, has now caused themselves a rotator cuff, the shoulder tendinopathy, yeah? So because of overloading doing press-ups. So, sorry, back to the elbow pain. So, overloaded secondary to doing lots of press-ups. So the key is to make sure you do good form, obviously, when you're doing your press-ups. So making sure that when you do a press-up, you keep your elbows tucked in so not too far out. Making sure you have good wrist mobility as well. So if you imagine when you're in a press-up position, you need a lot of wrist extension, yeah? So if you've not got that wrist mobility, and then you go and do a press up, the first thing you're going to do is overload the next area, which is your elbow, yeah? So before you go to do press ups, it'd be good to just do some wrist mobility. Underlying, I've got a patient that I'm treating at the moment, they've had a wrist fracture, so where they've been doing more press ups, obviously it's really painful over where they've fractured their wrist, so modifying it. So instead of doing a press up onto your palm, do it with a fist. So keep your fist there. So if you've not got the joint mobility, then you're doing it at a different angle to offload the wrist. Yeah? Oh, hi Rebecca. If anyone in the group, as I say, watching live has got any questions, physio related, then just pop it in the comments and I'll answer them live. So the elbow pain, overload due to press up. So yeah, key wrist mobility before you do your press ups. Keep a good elbows tucked in when you're doing the press ups. The other thing is don't end up chin poking. So in order to get down to the floor, when I see some people do press ups, they end up chin poking to get to the floor. They're going to end up getting neck problems. So don't do that. Keep your chin tucked in and keep good form. Exercises to help them. So pain around the elbow. So if it's more on the outer elbow, so around here, so what we call like the tennis elbow, then you get a weight. Okay, Emily. Emily's asked the question. We'll answer that one in a minute. So if you get a weight, rest your arm on a table here, so your elbow's just off the edge. And what you do is you start with your wrist up, extended with the weight, and then you just slowly lower down, and then you pull up with the other hand. So this is called, we call it eccentric loading of the wrist extensors. So what we do is we're going to just try and get these muscles stronger. The reason, if we can get those muscles stronger, they pull less around the tendon, so then that allows that to settle down. So it's coming up with, you pull up with the other hand, because the part that we want to work is this, the control down part. Okay, so what we do, this one, is to do 3 lots of 15 a couple of times a day, yeah? If the pain is more golfer's elbow, so pain on the inside of the elbow, secondary to overload and doing more press-ups, you do exactly the same, but you do it with your palm up. Sorry, not very good angle there. So you'd start with your forearm supported on a table, so you're off the edge here. Start with palm up, and then you slowly, so you help the other hand to pull it up, and then you slowly control down. Okay? And again, we've got a blog on our website about these exercises, so always check that out, physio-logical.net, and you can check out specific exercises for elbow pain. Anything else? I'll just carrying on from that is tendons take 3 months to regenerate, so you need to be looking at doing these exercises for 3 months, load them up, and then gradually increase the weight as well. So to slowly increase. It's okay to feel some discomfort 3, 4 out of 10 while doing these exercises, but you need to load it up so then it can cope with the demands of the activities you're going to do. Also, just keeping your elbow moving, so if you're stiff in the morning, just do 10 bend and straighten the elbow to get it moving. Cycling was also affecting this person, so they'd flared up their elbow tendons from doing lots of press ups, so then when they went to cycle and gripping the handlebars, that was causing the pain too. So my advice would be about cycling is don't grip the handlebars too hard. Yeah, so if you're gripping the handlebars really hard, so as soon as I grip, if you can see there, but when I grip, it tightens up this muscle here, yeah? And if you're constantly gripping too hard and tightening up that muscle, that's where the muscle attaches to the tendon. So it just keeps irritating around the tendon, basically. So keep a soft grip and don't overstretch with your arms when you're cycling. And then similar to what I said about the Achilles tendon problem, is don't overload or underload the tendons. So it's finding that optimal balance. So trying to find, do things, so say it's press-ups that's aggravating the pain, then instead of doing, say you're doing 20 press-ups, or in this case they were doing 100 press-ups, then just drop it down to doing, 50 or 10 if you're doing 20 and it's overloading. See what it's like the next day. If it's okay the next day, then that's fine, stick at that level. If it's flared up the next day or the day after, then you need to reduce your load, so do less, yeah? We have, talking about challenges, we have a Challenge 30 Physiological Facebook group, so if you're interested in doing certain challenges, then you can always join us there. So we share a different challenge each month, so it might be burpees or squats, but we all work to our own level, so it's not like I say, well, you need to do 100 a day or so. We set our own targets and encourage each other to work together. Hi Anna. Okay, so I am mindful that I've gone over a little bit, but if people have still got questions, happy for me to carry on, I will. Emily has asked, she's got an arch in the pain of her foot when running. Okay, so a lot of people might have heard of a term called plantar fasciitis. So this can be pain in the arch of the foot. So if you're a runner, you can get an overload in the fascia, plantar fascia, which is in the inside of the foot. So if I just show you here, so it's coming in, so here, yeah, in the arch of the foot. And that can be, I'm just coming in there, yeah? So the key with this is similar to earlier on I mentioned we call it eccentric loading exercises for the Achilles. The specific rehab exercises you do to strengthen through the calf muscles. So if the calf muscle's strong and loose as well, so if that's not tight, it doesn't pull down through the Achilles and then pull under into the arch of the foot there. Yeah. So I'll show you one exercise actually to do, a really good one, is just to get hold of your toes and then pull your foot back and then just try and do some self sort of soft tissue work to release through. Oh, mine feels a bit tight there. So just coming through there. So you hold it if you're stretching there. Can you see that stretch there? Can you see that, Emily? So you pull your foot back, pull your toes back, and then just come in and release. So if you're getting plantar fascia, pain in the arch of your foot, this is a really nice way just to release through there. So just spend 2-3 minutes a day just to try and release off through there. Oh, hi Mark. If anyone's got any questions that's watching live, then do ask in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them now while we're live. If not, then I'll answer with a blog later on our website. So yeah, so just coming in there to release off through that plantar fascia. And then another nice one to do if you have been for a run and it's sore, just get a frozen some water, put it in the freezer, and then you can just rub over. So if you imagine that's the bottle, just rub over that plantar fascia with that frozen, the water in the bottle. That's a nice way just to release it off after a run. But as for, I've talked a lot about different tendons today in this live. So Achilles tendon, we've talked about tennis elbow pain, so in your elbow tendon, common extensor tendon. Then the key with that is that the plantar fascia they found is similar properties to a tendon. So then you do need to then do loaded exercises to load and strengthen into those muscles in the arch of the foot. So I will show you now. So you need a rolled up towel. So when you're doing it, your toes need to be extended over the towel. And then what we do is we do a calf raise up and then come down off the edge of the step. So if I come, can we see the step? You see the step there? So what we would do is get a rolled up towel here. Okay. So rolled up towel there, can you see that there? And then we'd come off so you'd put that on the step. A little bit better to turn it around that way. Can you see that there? So you'd put the rolled up towel on the edge of the step, yeah? You'd stand on the rolled up towel, so with your toes over there. And then you would push up, so say it was your right foot, and then you drop down here, yeah? So pushing up, and then drop down off the edge of the step. So the key for having the rolled up towel, can you see me? Oh no, can't quite see me, sorry about that. Let's try again. So you push up, and then coming down there. So nice and slow and controlled. Pushing up. Down. Yeah. So the reason for having the towel there is so your toes are in an extended position, so that plantar fascia is on a stretch. So as you load it, you load through the tendon there. Okay. So let me just see how we're doing for time. So one more question, just to answer. Hope that helped there, Emily. Okay. And actually similar to what I've said before with other tendons with the plantar fascia, it's getting that balance. So if you are a runner, you don't overload or underload. So you can carry on running, but you need to run short of pain or short of flaring that the plantar fascia up. So one last question. As I say, if anyone's got any questions in the group that are watching live now, always put in the comments, and then I'll answer it with a blog, and I'll post that on our physio-logical.net website over the weekend. But I've got one last question that I promised I'd ask today, and it was about carpal tunnel. So someone sent a message to us saying they've got carpal tunnel, so pain around their wrist and then into their hand when they're sleeping. They're using splints. What else can they do? So what is carpal tunnel? Carpal tunnel is where the median nerve, so when the nerve comes down into the wrist through the palm, it gets compressed by the soft tissues and tendons which cross into the wrist, and that can produce tingling numbness in the thumb and then these fingers here, but also half of that finger there, so sort of that area, yeah? So tips and exercises. So obviously they're wearing the night resting splints, which is brilliant because it keeps your wrist into a neutral position, so keep going with that. Just general mobility, just keeping your wrist moving is really important, forwards, backwards, side to side. So that will help just to make sure you maintain the mobility in the joint to try and offload some of the pressure on the nerve. So with those ones, 2 to 3 times a day, just to keep it moving, yeah? Keep your wrist in neutral during the day. So I know a lot of people are working maybe in, you know, positions which aren't so great at the moment, so try not to end up being in like a flex typing position. So you need to keep your wrist neutral or even in slight extension when you are typing and using the mouse, because otherwise that will put more pressure over where the carpal tunnel runs. The wrist strengthening exercises as well with some weight. So if you get a weight and hold it there, and just to try and start up there and just have your forearm supported on a table, and then just slowly try and work the muscles that way, and then with your palm up, just coming up, and then slowly controlling down, working that way, all while your forearm is supported on a table, yeah? So that's quite high repetitions, 3 lots of 15 a couple of times a day with that one. And get a ball and do some ball squeezes with the ball to work the muscles, holding for 5 seconds, 3 lots of 10 of that. And then just keeping your fingers moving, so fingers flexing, extending, coming here, 3 lots of 10. Yeah? And then the last thing is a stretch for the muscles that run down the front here. So it's just trying to stretch out your arm like that. Hold it for 30 seconds and do that 2 to 3 times, a couple of times a day. So I hope that's answered the question about carpal tunnel. So there's just a few exercises that you can try. So if it is ongoing though, it's always good to get a bit more assessments. Sometimes you can have nerve conduction studies to check where the nerve is actually affected, because in practice what I sometimes find, people come with me with carpal tunnel, but it's not their carpal tunnel, it can be to do with the nerve in their neck. So a lot of the time we end up treating the neck as well as the arm and into the carpal tunnel. So it's just making sure that it is definitely that. Right, so I'm conscious that we've run over a little bit, but it's lovely to see so many people here on our physiological community page and joining us for our physiotherapy question and answer session today. So I hope that's been helpful for everyone. And I've managed to answer all the questions from people that have asked prior to me going live today, as well as 3 or 4 questions within the live group, which is really good. So yeah, thanks for your comments, thanks for joining me on our Physiological Facebook Live. So at this time we aren't able to offer face-to-face appointments, but we are offering physio online appointments, so via video or telephone consultation. So if you've got any aches or pains, injuries, then we can help you. These can be booked online via our website, physio-logical.net, or you can give us a call or email us. I just wanted to share with you, because I know a lot of people have been thinking, well, how can a physio help via video? But we've found we can help a lot of people. The only thing we can't do is put our hands on people. But what we're able to do, our new best friend, a tennis ball. So we can teach you how to self-release muscles using a tennis ball if they're certain type, or actually by you putting hands on to help, self-mobilise the problem with the back or around your neck. And just that reassurance that it's not serious, and exercises that you can do at home to help to get strong. Because what we don't want when this all calms down is then all these people to be getting these chronic pains that are going to take them forever to improve. We want to be able to help people now to get them better so they don't suffer in pain. So some of the testimonials from patients we've had that have taken us up on these video consultations, it was like the physio is in the room with me. One of my patients yesterday, I found our session really, really helpful today. I was really worried about my back, but now I know the right things to do, and I know by moving I'm not going to cause further damage. So another patient had buttock pain, so after doing a video consultation they're 90% better, you know, just by getting the right exercises to do, and that was in 1 week. You know, so if you are suffering with any injuries, aches or pain, please do get in touch. We can help you and make a difference. We also have our Physio-logical YouTube channel where we share lots of information and videos about sports injuries, running injuries, back pain, neck pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, so always check that out. Obviously you're watching within our Physio-logical community group, so feel free to invite anyone that you know might have any specific injuries. Definitely invite them along and share the group and some of our posts with other people. I'm pleased to say, oh hi Patrick, Patrick, hi Carol. Oh, that's good to hear, Emily. Glad to hear your knees are a lot better after your video consultation you had with us a couple of weeks ago. That's really good news. Thanks for your feedback. So our website, yes, so we've got now a search facility. So right at the top of our website, physio-logical.net, we've got a search box. So we've got loads of content on our website. So from, as I say, like our YouTube channel, back pain, knee pain, running injuries, neck pain, so always check that out. So if you've got a problem or you know someone that's got a problem, tell them to look at our website, search now, and it will give you all the blogs and videos that we've done about that specific injury. If there's anything that's not on there, you want more information, do let us know and we'll do our best to get that information on there for you. So I better go. Thanks again. Run over a little bit, but that's really good. You know, I'm happy to share our knowledge, always happy to help. You know, this is a tough time for us all. And from my point of view, being a physio, I just want to help people that are in pain or are struggling with any niggles, aches or pains. Or even if they haven't got pain, you know, you might look at this time, you've got a bit of time over your hands and you want to improve your running performance. You know, I can do an assessment, look at, you know, advise you about what exercise you can be doing to keep strong to reduce the risk of injury, and once it's all settled down, improve your performance, you know, long term. So there's lots that we can do. If you've got any questions, please do ask, comment below, send us a message and we can answer that in a blog after this. One challenge for anyone that's listened to this Facebook Live today: why not, as a physio and a family, we love to exercise, so share a picture of you doing your exercise today, whether that be your physio exercises or your HIIT session in the garden, or if you get out for a run or a cycle or walk locally, obviously observing all the social distancing. Share a picture with us today. So thanks for listening and have a lovely day, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye bye.